Good Wednesday afternoon. Thanks for joining us on KARE 11 News Now. I'm Chris Harabsky. It's the day Twins fans have been waiting months for. The team announcing this afternoon the limited partners that it's bringing on after the Pohlad family decided not to sell the team. Now, Sarah Kelvy's here with the message.
Thanks, Chris. While it may not be the massive change the Pohlads once declared would be coming to the Twins ownership, today's announcement does signify a new structure. For Minnesota sports fans, Craig Leopold is the name that stands out the most. Leopold took over as the Minnesota Wild's owner in 2008. While the Wild haven't been able to break the championship drought, the recent blockbuster trade to bring Quinn Hughes to the state of hockey has the team on the rise. Glick Family Investments is also purchasing a minority share in the Twins. The real estate management firm operates 23,000 units across 13 states, according to its websites. So far, none in Minnesota. The third new investor in the Twins is George Hicks, the co-founder and co-executive chair of Minneapolis-based credit specialist Varde Partners. Tom Pohlad highlighted what qualities the family was looking for in investors.
It was imperative that we bring in quality people, like-minded people, and people with the same values.
We also learned that Tom Pohlad will now oversee the Twins organization and become the franchise's control person. The change in leadership still needs MLB approval. Chris?
Right now, teachers in the state's largest school district are voting on whether or not to authorize a strike. They've been working without a contract since June, and union leaders say the biggest sticking point for them in their negotiations is rising health care costs. The union will vote over the next couple of days, the next 4 days to be exact. Union representatives tell us 90% of their members express support for a strike. Well, classes are back in session today for two major South Metro districts after several online threats forced those schools to close. Right now, police say a 16-year-old is in custody in connection to social media messages threatening multiple high schools in District 196, and that includes Apple Valley, Eastview, Rosemont, and Eagan high schools. Meanwhile, two different teens were questioned for a separate string of threats impacting schools in District 191, which includes Burnsville, Eagan, and Savage. Police say there's no threat to the public, and they don't believe that the threats are related. It's day 5 of the urgent search for whoever shot and killed 2 students and injured 9 others at Brown University last week. Authorities releasing new images that they hope will help track down a person of interest in this case. Aaron McLaughlin is in Providence with the latest.
Hey there, authorities have released new time-stamped footage showing the so-called person of interest in the hours prior to the mass shooting here at Brown University that killed 2 and wounded 9. In the footage released by the FBI, stitched together from Ring camera footage taken from homes and businesses in the area, even dash camera footage, you see the person of interest walking not far away from the campus about 2 hours prior to the attack. One point in the footage you can see the individual running, and then he passes the building where the shooting took place about an hour before the attack, but you never see him enter. And then after the attack, there is footage of him walking away, raising all sorts of questions. Authorities say they still have not identified the person of interest in that video. The Attorney General at yesterday's press conference saying that once they have that identification, he's confident they'll be able to find him. Back to you.
Thank you, Aaron. Eva Erickson is a name you might recognize. The Eagan native was a former contestant on the TV show Survivor and is now a 4th-year PhD student at Brown University. Erickson's office is in the engineering building, which is connected to the building where the shooting happened. She says that she left to go to the gym, and right after she got there, she got active shooter alerts started going out. Erickson says that she was barricaded in the gym for hours with other students. She talked about that experience as it was happening on her Instagram page. Students were eventually released, and Erickson says that she's been back to campus a few times since the shooting, but saying the area now doesn't feel like a school, but a crime scene.
I had been leaving so close to when the shooter entered. Like, it just has really shaken me up how lucky I am and how unlucky others were. Those questions of like, why am I safe, and why are 2 students, members of our community, not with us anymore? Like, this is so sad. All of the students are basically gone. All of my teammates have left and gone home. So it's like campus is just a crime scene at this point. Campus is normally so lively and has just like such a good energy of the students here, and now it just feels so sad and empty.
All classes and finals for students at Brown have been canceled. Police are still looking for whomever did this. And they just released a new photo of a person of interest. Again, that's what we told you off the top of the story there. Back here at home, Governor Walz signed 2 executive orders, both taking aim at gun violence. He wanted a bigger change in the special session, yet didn't call one, so he's taking this route to respond to the murders of the Hortmans and the mass shooting at Annunciation School. Victims have been calling for this change ever since, and Jessica Hart has that angle.
Inside the Capitol's reception room,
We are the murder gun capital of the planet.
somber looks
People safe.
filled the space.
I wish we didn't have to do this today.
Today, Governor Tim Walz signed 2 executive orders aimed at addressing gun violence, including establishing a statewide safety council.
It's hard to hold hope, but this is definitely something that
Lexi Anderson
can help.
founded a Students Demand Action chapter at St. Paul Conservatory Performing Arts and is proud of the step
Enough is enough.
Minnesota took.
Enough is enough.
What we're really fighting for is an assault weapons ban, and this is a great first step forward. We're really hoping for more legislation in the future.
Honestly, it was kind of that shock in my community that made me want to get involved.
Eliza Erlin leads her chapter at Edina High School.
What's the difference between my school and Annunciation? What's stopping it from happening at my school?
She hopes action today will lead to change tomorrow.
Certainly a good step in the right direction.
Tim Coomer, an emergency medicine physician at Hennepin County Medical Center, believes any step that decreases people's suffering is worth it.
There's a number of things I would love to see happen. Number one, I would just love to see the culture around this topic completely change. We've got to figure out a way to talk to each other about this topic.
A step that opens the door to conversations.
Using my voice to advocate for my kids.
Conversations Dan Manchon will have with anyone. His daughter survived the deadly mass shooting at Annunciation.
They don't like to be by windows. They don't like the dark. They duck down to go across our living room, which is heartbreaking. We have an opportunity to show the country that we're not going to sit passively and let our kids continue to be traumatized and try to protect them.
It's important for us to stay hopeful because hope is what drives us forward, and to continue fighting for what we believe in and to continue fighting for feeling like we're safe.
A step toward change brought them to the Capitol, and hope for a safer future will continue to bring them back.
Jessica Hart reporting there. More followed today as the state continues its effort to prevent Medicaid fraud. The Minnesota Department of Human Services has announced a 2-year licensing pause for adult daycare settings, services that help the elderly and people with disabilities care for themselves and decrease isolation. Crunching the data, the state says that the numbers of providers is outpacing the need for services. The agency's inspector general said that they investigate and they're finding signs of kickbacks.
In addition to the excess capacity issue, we're investigating reports that kickbacks are being offered for recipients who switch from one business to another. Offering kickbacks to drum up business is a sign that there is a provider oversaturation.
Adult daycare settings are one of the 14 Medicaid services that the state designated as, quote, high risk back in October, set to undergo a third-party billing audit. You can find all of our team's fraud reporting on KARE11.com. Just click on the fraud tab. It's at the top of the page. Today on Capitol Hill, 4 Republican lawmakers are now backing a Democratic effort to extend pandemic-era Obamacare subsidies for health care. That means Democrats now have enough signatures on their discharge petition to require a floor vote on those subsidies. Those enhancements are set to expire on January 1st, but the vote won't happen until sometime in January. The 4 GOP lawmakers defied House Speaker Mike Johnson in choosing to vote with the Democrats on this one. If the Affordable Care Act subsidies lapse, analysts say many people will see their health care costs rise significantly. Taking a live look from the White House as President Trump prepares for his prime time address tonight. The White House says that he'll talk about his accomplishments this year and tease some policy actions coming in the new year. That address scheduled for 8 p.m. and you can watch it live right here on KARE 11. Ahead of the president's speech, the White House is promising a happy new year for affordability. However, experts say the future looks complicated. A new report out yesterday shows the unemployment rate hit a 4-year high last month. At the same time, retail sales were also flat.
Affordability is certainly an issue, but when you have higher income earners, it's going to be less sensitive for them.
We are in this sort of no hire, no fire type of market.
That report also found the economy lost 105,000 jobs in October, gained 64,000 last month in November. New today, the Hockey Hall of Fame's got a new home. It's a little closer to the Metro. It's moving to Inver Grove Heights, not far from Vikings Lakes and the Minnesota Vikings training complex out there. Beautiful facility. That new facility will feature a museum with 5 exhibit wings, a state-of-the-art ice rink, a performance space, restaurant, tap room, and several community spaces there. Looks pretty cool. Organizers hope to break ground on that new Hall of Fame next year and plan to hold a grand opening in 2028. Stick with us. More news and weather coming up after the break.